You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse Radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse Radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
The Hinkson Firm's mission is to provide superior legal service in the areas of family law, child welfare law, general legal services, and mediation by keeping convenience of the clients at the forefront. The Hinkson Firm's goal is to eliminate the stress of an already intense situation in your life by coming directly to your workplace and or a location close to your home. Consultation, meetings, and mediation. The Hinkson Firm customizes legal attention based on the needs of each client, while treating every client with the dignity and respect they deserve, while fighting strongly and fiercely for justice and their legal rights. The Hinkson Firm can be reached at 470-499-4704. One by One Kia full range of products embodies fundamental nutrients necessary to maintain beautiful and healthy hair care without having to combine an assortment of hair care products. The One by One Kia products are designed to rejuvenate, moisturize, create shine, fortify, and stimulate hair growth while leaving your hair feeling fresh and luxurious. Be sure to visit our website at www.onebywankaya.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at One by One Kia. Let's get your healthy hair care journey started today.
I'm saying a prayer. I'm saying a prayer.
I'm saying a silent prayer for my brothers and sisters back home. Can't stand to see the suffering while out in the streets they roam. The forgotten becomes the predator while the weak becomes the prey. And some were not so lucky, they didn't live to see another day. Some quick to pull the trigger when they could easily walk away. Some lost the love of their brothers, so killing is every day. Politicians making promises they know they just won't keep. Undertakers getting richer while life is getting cheap. No one has all the answers, this ship is sinking fast. Most High, please help us, how long will this pain last? The streets are no longer safe, kids are scared to play. The jails are overflowing, some young, some old and gray. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Majority are mired in poverty, while the privileged are living well. How long will the poor man suffer Only time will tell. If only we could come together and live in one accord, most of our problems will be over. We will we or just we won't. Some seems to have forgotten that brothers and sisters we are. We must care for each other or we won't get very far. Let's put our differences aside. Let peace and love abide. This road to prosperity is long. Let's walk it side by side.
Yes, greetings, 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 greetings.
I'm saying a silent prayer for my brothers and sisters back home. Can't stand to see the suffering while out in the streets they roam. The forgotten becomes the predator while the weak becomes the prey. And some were not so lucky they didn't live to see another day.
Greetings, 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 greetings. Big shout outs to each and everyone getting a couple of texts here left and right. And just want to say greetings to each and everyone that's joining us um, this evening, this Thursday, for Reasoning Thursday. Reasoning Thursdays, each and every Thursdays. Mama Acid, Don Minot, Mackie, greeting first. Greetings, Don. How you doing?
I'm good. What, Mackie?
Yeah,
Greet.
man, we're there, man. Live and direct, you know.
Yeah. Your
Hey,
name big out there, no, Mackie. If you know, say your name big out there, no.
Well, you know, sir, we try to be like Marcus Garvey, you know, just do what we have to do, and wherever it fall is
Yes.
not our fault, you know.
Yeah, it's
And
a
so we have
pleasure
to
to
make a
talk to you.
contribution. Yeah,
Sure.
man, my pleasure as well.
Yeah, man.
all right.
Hey, I wanna ask. Lady D played that song for a reason. So, Damina,
Yeah.
you talking to people in Jamaica, you talking to artists in Jamaica and people in Jamaica from outside of Jamaica about reggae. Can you please now have a little dialogue with Mackie about what the song really means? And then, Mackie, we really want to hear from you about your feelings about the song and what it really means to be inside Jamaica, trying to get your music outside of Jamaica.
Mhm.
Well,
What it means to be. Go ahead, I'm listening.
go ahead, Mackie. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, of course, I'm in Jamaica and trying to get my music outside of Jamaica. As a matter of fact, trying to get my music in Jamaica alone is a challenge. Because in the
Mm.
first place, people are not interested in playing music. There are people are interested in being paid to play music. And the
Mm.
repercussion and the consequence of playing what they play, they don't even care about that. So when we do music like that, beat down Babylon, beat down oppression, as if you are not talking about taking off some lady's clothes and pulling a gun to the head to destroy the next generation, you have a one time get it played. So getting the music played in Jamaica give thanks to the advent of the internet. You can jump over the heads and send them to Lady D and she play them. And other people, of course, in the music business. So in time, so for me, the aim is to ensure that we do positive music that will last for a lifetime. That if they don't play them today, they may find them tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next 100 year and play them. So that is where we are.
Okay, so Don,
Yes.
the song talks about getting music out there to the world. And last week, that was one of the reasons that we decided to do today entertainment for a second week because of the discussions. And the discussions are really, really pertinent for not just what we're going through right now in the music business, but also what we're going through in terms of culture, because we're seeing a lot of artists who are slowly but surely getting their visas restored. And we're starting to see a little bit of movement in travel and live shows coming back. So what I want to understand, Don, since you're on the outside and you're coming to bring your music to the world, but you are wanting to bring people like Mackie who are still on the inside, but they can't get their music out to the world. What do you think the two of you can do in order to push the music forward to break down this barrier?
Well, Mackie just earlier spoke about using the internet, because that's what most of us independent artists, whether you're at home or abroad, that's what we're doing, because it's not only the artist that is based in Jamaica is having a hard time getting near play. I live in the state for 35 years, and yet I can't get my music played in Jamaica unless I pay somebody some money down there to play. So I just kind of don't even focus too much on the pay for play DJs. I use I use the internet and foster a relationship with people like Lady D and numerous other internet DJs who are all over the world. So I'm fortunate enough that I've done the groundwork, laid the groundwork where my music now is being played all over the world on various internet stations all over the world, from France to the UK to Spain to Macedonia to Serbia to the all over in the US, you name it. My music is everywhere because I utilize the internet. I really don't worry about the terrestrial radio and the Jamaicans who want money back in Jamaica, because they're not playing roots reggae anyway. So I don't really penetrate them.
So last week, Lady D mentioned that she thinks one of the impediments is that people are in that, I forget what you all called it, where people go and they throw money on the turntable and the selectors play it the same bad music over and over. That
The,
pay for play. Explain that, Lady D.
they just call it the money pull up thing what we are talking about.
Yes, that's why they call it money pull up.
Yeah.
Money pull up.
Mm.
So why is the money pull up? Is it happening in the United States too, Lady D?
They- of course, that's something that is going on no matter what state country that you're in. A lot of individuals is when they hear a song that they want a person to play again, a DJ to play again, then they throw the money on the turntable and everybody then they pull up the song.
Why aren't these DJs being pointed out for this? Because to me, this sounds like payola.
Well, if you mm, in some ways it's kind of different as to if you want to call that payola. I wouldn't necessarily call that payola. Payola to me is when you're going directly to a particular company, that the artist themselves is going to this company and asking pay to play their thing on the air, versus a dance, versus at a dance where they where it's the people in the attendees of the event is requesting that particular song be
But
played.
how do we know that these attendees are not just up? I don't want to say handling the work of the artists. Let me just go ahead and put it there.
Well, you know what? My response to that is that even at some stage show, you know, back in time, they used to say at certain, let's say, Sunfest and all of those different shows, they certain entertainers used to bring a certain amount of entourage with them, and
Yeah,
they used to be in the background making up all the noise and blowing the horns and a bus shot,
right.
all of these things. So, so if you versus being in a dance, at a dance, it's just in, well, like you said, it can be individuals that they pay to do it, but your friends go up there and dash money on the throw money on the turntable. Yeah, that's it. But I
Okay,
wouldn't
so
necessarily call it
Mackie,
payola. I wouldn't call it payola.
yeah. Okay, so Mackie, now we're gonna reflect to you. This happens in Jamaica a lot. Like she just explained to me, it's happening in the US too. Why is it that or is it, let me ask Mackie this, is it certain artists or certain types of artists or certain forms of music where this phenomenon, I forget, they call it money pull up, I think she said, where this money pull
Mm.
up predominates, and is that what prevents foundation music like what you and Don Minot are bringing forward from really getting played at these dances and becoming more popular?
Well, the truth is, just like how Dan and I would maintain certain standard and certain style of music, it is not because of how much money we make, but it is because of our interest in the music and what can we do for the next generation or take it to the next level. If you want to say freedom of Africa, freedom from apartheid, some persons were singing to free apartheid. They were not singing to make money from it. As Bob Marley would say, if money come, let it come. There are other persons that are in the business just to be paid, and they will get paid at any cost. They will do anything for money. So the love of money become the root of all evil. And when certain style or types of music, and when a man speak about how much gunshot and how the blood should run and what should happen, and how many people should kill each other, and it dwindles down into the next generation into crime and violence. Some people, as long as they are paid, they will do anything. If you want to say some people are just sold out for nothing. So even here in Jamaica, where that is concerned, there are events that may happen or parties may happen for a certain generation of people who will just pay to get there, and you ensure that the rum is there, the liquor is there, and all that is important to them so that they can make a profit at the end of the day, whatever happens. And it go in various stratas of a society. But because the music is where the language is, if you want to say to save the generation, or where music is one of the thing, one of the most the easiest place to teach a lesson is through music. When people do that through the music, it become more dangerous because we teach the children to use the letters of the alphabet by singing it in a song, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and they learn it. It's a similar thing with singing anything else in a song, and then after a couple years, then the police is running down the youths because the song tell you that you're important with a gun on your waist. So if some people are willing to just take money, get paid to do that, we can hardly blame even the artists, because if their music were not played, they would be singing other stuff. So when some people afford to pay to get it down the line, it stifles the other side of the music. And that is why I made a mention earlier on in another blog that I did, that reggae music is either dying or is dead. Because if Bob
Okay,
Marley can
stop.
still
Wait a minute. Stop
be
right there. Don't go past
okay,
that. We
okay,
going there. We're gonna come back from last week. You weren't here last week, and so I'm dragging this back up because Lady D
okay,
last week said that it's a responsibility of each generation to maintain the music that they feel that they want, like the foundation music. People in my generation, we love foundation music and lovers rock and all of that. So we can't fault, and I love her for this because she chastised me thusly and very appropriately. You cannot take dancehall from the kid because it's their music, but it's up to them to police it, and we should make them understand that they can't go down a certain lane. So do we have responsibility with that? Because like we said last week, we know Gussie Clark and certain other producers that did early music for Bob and all of them guys, they couldn't get it in with money, so they sent certain people up to the radio station with baseball bat, and they did what they needed to do, and then their music was on the air. Now, we're not saying that we support violence, but we're saying that if these kids are functioning from that system, which they appear to be, because we just seen The same thing happened to Dave Chappelle, where somebody didn't like one of his jokes and they ran up on stage and they tackled him, and it was a whole event. And we can get to that later. That is what I'm talking about. Where Lady D says, where does good sense kick in? That's what she asked me. So I want to ask both of y'all that. Who's policing reggae to make sure the good sense stay in reggae? Since she say I can't take dancehall from the youth, then
You can.
All right, let me respond to that. In particular, there is nothing wrong with dancehall music. It is another side of the Jamaican music. So let us get that first of all. First of all, if you give your child something and it is good for them, it's good. But if you give them something and it's harmful, what responsibility do you take? Sometimes it is not even the music itself. The music is a vehicle that carries the lyrics. If there are certain music that is carry a certain lyrics, that is the consequence of such lyrics is detrimental. It is now up to you as a parent, as a Jamaica, or as a nation where the music is concerned. What do you do for the benefit of the next generation? Not everyone in the next generation is qualified to lead themselves as yet. Because we cannot exempt, we cannot say changes. Changes is one of the things that happens every day. It's the only thing that is consistent, that is always happening, change. And if the music change, nothing is wrong with that. But if the change is detrimental, you have to strike a balance. Because reggae music is just one form of the Jamaica music. And of course, if what is happening out there now as dance hall music, the current dance hall music, if you want to balance it from a music perspective, a lot of it end up not being Jamaican because it is a fusion between some American music and some other forms of music come together that takes out and take away the culture of Jamaica in the music. So if we really want to balance where the music is concerned and bring back, let's say you want to deviate from reggae music to dancehall or to another style. The early dancehall music was Jamaican. So even if you want to put the great lyrics on the early Jamaican form of early dancehall music, that is still great. But when the music is taken away where the lyrical content, because you can sing negative lyric on reggae and cause the same effect too. So if it come back to the music then, we need to formulate a form or style of music that can continue to maintain the Jamaican-ness. So if you want to move from reggae and you want to move from dancehall, why don't we create something else then that has a foundation in Jamaica? Because Jamaica is known globally for reggae. And if after you're known globally for reggae and you want to transition into something else, let us make something new then. We cannot be piggybacking on some American style of music, or what they call it trap music. And as far as I'm concerned, a lot of our today artists, they sing on that kind of music, and I don't know if the name is symbolic to what it is doing. Because at the end of the day, Jamaica music is gone outside of Jamaica. It is no longer Jamaican what we are hearing now. Our top so-called dancehall artists or dancehall artists of the day or Jamaican artists of the day is not on a Jamaican beat. And if you are not singing Jamaican, what are you? So nothing is wrong if we have a style of music.
This is what I was just going to
and that's what Don said last week.
this is what I did because that's what I was going to ask you, Mackie, when you were saying about the music. Were you talking about the music as musically or lyrically? Because the beat it changed, but some of the music that they're singing, they consider it to be their oppression, their way of living, what they saw in throughout their lives. So when you're talking about the change in music, are we talking about the rhythm and the beat? Are we talking about lyrically? Because rhythm and beat for me, I would say yes, they're gravitating to the left instead of going in the path that was laid there. Lyrically, why if you really even think about it, lyrically them don't even right neither, because some of the things that they're singing about is just evil beyond me. So it
Well,
will.
I would look at it, I would like to say when it comes to music or a song, let us call it a song then. A song have words and it has music. So there is two sides of the song that we want to balance. Let us say you have a reggae beat, authentic Bob Marley style reggae beat, and you're singing about cutting a man's throat. That is being derogative or that is being disrespectful or makes no positive contribution to the next generation. So we could still say that is wrong. The other side of it, you may tell a person, love your wife, love your enemies, be careful, be wonderful, be this, on a beat that is not Jamaicanized, or a beat that is off where the culture of Jamaica is concerned. You may be singing the right thing, but for the benefit of Jamaica, you are moving away from the culture of Jamaica. So you can say, even though you're singing in Pato, you're singing a song that is really not founded upon the Jamaicanness where our economy is concerned, to say this is our music. Like you could say gold is from Africa, no matter where you bring it to, is gold. So if now what we probably need to do to govern the entire thing, we govern it from both sides. If we're going to protect the foundation of Jamaica, we need to protect it with the music of which Jamaica is known for. So you are known for reggae and you improve on the reggae, or you move into another genre of music. Let that genre be a Jamaican genre too. So we protect the genre as one side of it, and the next side we protect the lyrical content so we can preserve the next generation, because we are
That's
moving
it.
into a generation which is different.
Right, Don, what you say?
Well, what I would say is that I respect the fact that somebody told I mean people tell me all the time, well, Don, you have to give the young people a chance to create their own music. Your generation had your style, your vibes. They want to create their own music. I would give them that. But the problem that I have is the lyrical content. That I'm more concerned about the lyrical content of the song, because with the advent of the computer, a lot of these young people, they're using the computer to create music because they weren't given the opportunity to learn to play an instrument, and so they use the computer to make music. That is what not only Jamaican do it. Young people all over the world is using computer to make music because they can't play an instrument, you know. So they use a computer, and the computer play a couple of notes to them, and they loop it and repeat it and call it a rhythm or whatever. And they say that's their generation of music, and so
But
I,
Don,
I
here
yeah,
here is what the point I would like to go where you are going, right?
yeah,
Creativity is creating something from its origin. That's
yeah,
creativity. So even if a youth want to create something from the computer, creativity, what the creativity is coming is a copy of some other people music. That's not creativity.
right,
When reggae was founded in Jamaica, because I'm a musician, I play instruments too. I'm not
yeah,
just a singer,
right,
right? I create a lot of songs, right? In the early days, there were, if you want to say the ska, the rocksteady, those are foundation music that were never taught or made anywhere else around the world. So
yes,
that is Jamaican. Now, what we see and hear happening whenever you hear somebody else's music, you are hearing some American beat, you are hearing some other beat that is, if you want to say, if you should go into copyright infringement, all of the Jamaican music is a part of some other people music. So
yeah,
where are we in creating something new? Let us say, give this generation an opportunity to create something new. Nothing is wrong with that. It might not be reggae, but let it be whatever it is. Let it be Jamaican. What we are hearing is not Jamaican. So where does Jamaica fall in the music business? If you lose reggae, and the next thing that you use to take over reggae is not Jamaican, so what else do we have? Tourism.
Hold the line, Colin.
Okay. Um, we had discussion about this last week, and we came up with some questions about these things. And in addition to that, we I got some figures and did a little research because we wanted to figure out how it was impacting certain types of things. And one of the things was, does this more violent music impact the culture all around us? Is there a responsibility of the government who is regulating the morality clause to do something to curb all the violence in the music? And also, is there ever going to be any action by an organization within Jamaica like JARE and JAVAA? I think it's a Jamaican Association of um,
Vincent artist.
artists.
I think it's called Jaria.
That too. So, what I want to know from the two of y'all, since we had this discussion last week about how patois isolates your music and why it's a part of the whole cycle of what needs to be regulated in order for it to be called reggae, which is why I believe it should come out of the Grammys, because the Grammys does not treat reggae as a legitimate art form, and it doesn't use the same measurement tools as people in reggae in order to determine the viability and actually the quality of the music, because they don't understand it, and why we need an organization in order to deal with that. Last week, Don and I took views of that, and I want to hear what your view of it is, Mackie. Do you think we need to create an organization within Jamaica Music in order to fix this? And should that organization be bound to control reggae standards around the world, so when people say they're putting out reggae, this particular organization can say, no, that is not reggae?
All right. I do a song, you can find it on YouTube, it's called Rebel. And a line in it says, the same set of people cause the problem, is them have the job to solve them. If Jamaica music, first of all, reggae, original, traditional, foundation reggae is beating down Babylon, beating down this, beating down that, beating down oppression, beating when Bob Marley said, never let a politician grant you a favor. That means you're in the position to talk against a politician. So how can you have the same people that you may have to be addressing in the things that you talk about and sing about, be in charge of what you're talking about and singing about? So if you are going to involve them in censoring the same thing, you might want to sing something about them and you don't get any opportunity to do it because they are in charge of it. As far as I am concerned, the level to which Jamaica or reggae should reach or could reach should not be dependent on any of these organizations that is governed by the government who you might have to be singing about. It needs an entire organization to the size of reggae globally, that it should be reggae need a government for it by itself. A prime minister of reggae, a minister of security in reggae. You
Yeah,
understand what I mean? So
that's what
for
we said
reggae
last
to
week.
get
Don say these
right,
people just don't have no, they just don't have any governors. They could just go anyway and call it anything.
right. And the other side of it as it relates to the Grammy that is issuing the award for reggae. Technically speaking, the Grammy Awards is doing Jamaica a favor, because by rights the Grammy should not be the organization that the criteria of reggae should not be determined by the
That
Grammy.
is genius.
The
Lady D, did
criteria
you
for
hear what
reggae.
he said? Lady D has said this over and over. She
Yeah,
keeps
the
saying it.
criteria the criteria that makes our music reggae should be administered by the people who know reggae, create reggae, know the foundation of reggae. But simply because we who are the owners and instigators of this music called reggae is not doing it. Can you imagine if there was no Grammy? We wouldn't have any stardom or any highest point in reggae because we dropped the ball. Jamaica used to have a thing named Jammy Awards annually, Jamaica Music Award, something to that effect. If we were honoring and giving awards, people from right around the world should have been coming to Jamaica to get the highest award in the music by the people who make it, create it, and have the criteria for it. technically speaking, we are here deciding what is the criteria for reggae. Is it the music? Is it the lyrics? Is it whatever it is? Is it the beat? We are here. But where is it on paper to say reggae is this, reggae is that, and the foundation? And once you go outside of that line, it is not reggae. So unless we get some formulate some form of organization that put the entire package together and say this is the item that we are governing. We are governing the item called reggae music, and this is it. Because where it is coming from, we are living from the foundation of Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Jacob Miller, we call it reggae. And if we improve it to dancehall, then we improve it to, if you want to say, 2020 hall or 2022 hall, whatever name you want to give it, then all these are different. Ska, rocksteady, dancehall, 2020 hall, and it can continue to many genres because we cannot stick to the things that just what we know. We have to make provision for change, but you must have a foundation upon which the changes stand. Then if it is a root, then it has several branches and all is connected to the same root. So where our music
Okay.
is concerned is deviated from the root.
We're gonna go to the comments. Sandra Brown says, "Good evening, panel. I do agree with Mackie Conscious." And Pete the Respecter Blake says, "Speak the truth, I am." So we wanted to drop that. Also, want to send big shout outs to the Victorious 89.1 FM radio right here in ATL. All of the Macon, Conyers, Covington, Augusta, Georgia, all of the southern and northern parts of most of Georgia. Want to say big shouts to you. I had to give these couple of shouts. Big shouts to Andrea Beer in upstate New York. Thanks for tuning in. Filippo in Mexico, want to say big shouts to you. Thanks for tuning in. Please call in, or you know what, for each and every one, I know you're listening via our radio or our website or our tuning apps, or on our telephone lines. But we're also live on Facebook. We're also live on Instagram, and we're also live on YouTube. So you can see us live on those platforms as well. So you can log in that way. I want to say big shouts to caller on the line, Andrew. Big up yourself. How are you doing, sir?
I am blessed and highly favored of the Most High God.
Yes,
Blessings to everyone.
Rastafari.
All right, blessings. I know we was gonna let Don go on in, and right, Mama Acid was letting Don go
I
on.
wanted to ask Don, like that's what we
And
were talking
then,
about last week. So
Andrew,
Don,
Andrew, I know you have something to say. Um, I'm getting texts on like 4 different avenues here. So
the
so
show
go
is
ahead,
hot.
ask the question to Don, and then I'll read about 3 comments from this screen here and get Andrew on this screen here. And well, Andrew's already up on this screen. So go ahead, ask the question to Don.
Okay, Don, how do we make it work?
I I just want to go back to what Mackie Conscious was saying about the Grammy and why and we should have our own award shows. But we have tried that many times, with, both in Jamaica and overseas, in all over the United States, where West Indian and Jamaicans living in huge numbers. They have come up with different awards show, and all of them fade for one reason or other because of lack of sponsors or lack of support or whatever. With the Grammy now, what I think is the problem with us is, as somebody said it too, is that Jamaicans don't make themselves available to be on the board of the Grammy. I don't think we have, I don't think we have any Jamaican on the Grammy board, on the board that the selection board that select the music for the nominations. I don't think we have any Jamaicans on that. So We can't blame other people to choose who they want because Jamaicans are not on the board. We don't have members on that board. You know, the selection board that select the songs when they submitted. We don't have any
I
Jamaicans.
want to
I don't know of any.
I want to make a comment on that. Let us say the Grammy designed their way of selecting the music, reggae music, and want one their board. That is fine. That's what they want to do because it's their award. But if
Mm-hmm.
the Grammy is seriously about making the right selection of how music is to be selected genuinely, they would have probably find some people that is genuinely in reggae that is qualified and competent and invite them on their board to ensure that the result of reggae is real. Because the format by which they use to choose Grammy, you will always have music that is not reggae getting in. If we're going to choose a song because of a song must have criteria for selection, not people that is doing the selection. And it's the same thing that cause a lot of people slide through in the music business, not because of the quality of the music, but is your ability to pay to get it played and promoted. So if it is a selection for the music, then it must be selection. Set up the criteria that makes selecting the music is being selected the music without even knowing who's the singer. Let us say it must have a 4/4, it must have up down, it must have proper harmony, it must have that set that criteria. Then when this criteria is set, even a dog that you put in there could do the right selection. It shouldn't be about people who is there. Well, if so be the case, find people who know what is reggae. Ask the Grammy what is reggae in the first place. Because some of what is selected in the category of reggae is not selected because they are reggae, but it's selected because of their criteria. So leaving Grammy out of it, doing us a favor to keep our music on the top, we need to find a way to ensure that when we say an artist is the reggae artist of the year, even if they come from Zimbabwe or wherever in the world they come from, as long as they stand up to the criteria that Jamaica has set for its music, you cannot have someone giving the international award and your thing without
Okay.
your
Let, let,
contribution.
let me say this though. When you say um it ought to be set, is reggae not already set? Is there not a set standard for reggae? Because with all of the criticism of the music that is going out now of it not being reggae, from the foundation, hasn't that criteria already been set, what reggae is supposed to be? In You all could answer that, then we're going to give Andrew, let Andrew go in, and then I have three very interesting questions that I want to bring to each, including you, Mama Acid. Before I even go there, Sandra Brown says the only way you will see that is if there is an American artist in it. That's what Sandra Brown had to say on that turn. So okay, Mackie, Dan, let's go to Andrew. Andrew,
Yeah,
yes,
just want to add to that.
yes.
If we really get to the nitty gritty of things, the reason why we keep on trying to create a foundation, it's not working, it's because we're not together. And if we're not together, it can't stand. Because people think that they're above and they deserve this and they deserve that. It just takes two to come together, you know. It don't take a lot of people. It just takes two with strong mind, and find the people to fund it and take it from there, and it can grow. You know, just like Shirley Rat came and started the movie thing where awarding the Jamaicans overseas, and they had the thing every year. It was going on very well, and went for some time. It, it's just yeah, and get people to jump on board with her and took it so far. So if we, to me, for me personally, all of what happened at the Grammy this year is really to get us in position to do what we need to do as a nation because it makes us all look bad as Jamaicans. And it is saying that we need to do something. And it don't make sense we argue about it and we're not coming up with a solution. So if we want it that bad, start a foundation, start something that people pour into financially to get it off the ground. If it's money that it needs, start a foundation that will raise funds to create this and have this up and running. And we need to really not be judgmental to those that don't understand it. What we need to do is fix it. When we fix it, then we on top. And if we just wait to debate about it and there's nothing in place to fix it, it makes no sense. We're still at where we started from.
Okay. So would you feel like government, let's say, minister of music culture, you know, Babsy Granger herself, if should she be the head of this to start this to take place, to pick certain, and how would we suggest to her on the
No, we have
individuals that are to be chosen to represent, to help
started
create this? Uh,
the, the people who is in the music itself
uh-huh.
that know the function of the music
Mhm.
need to start something and incorporate them in it
Okay.
because the only minister
Well, let me throw
on
this out there. Um,
them.
Mackie was coming up with the government, saying that there should be a
Let the
government,
government never
not a
been
government,
controlled.
not the government, not like the prime minister, but the entertainment fraternity should form a government where, um, just like there's the minister of education, minister of this, minister of that, then we should have the same thing in the music industry.
Yes,
What's your
yeah,
thought on that? And then Don, I think we touched a little bit on it last week. And
that's
I think that you
yeah,
had an opinion to it as well, Don. Go ahead, Andrew, and then we can go to Don and then Mama Acid.
that's where we need to start from. We need to form an organization, a government, and put people in place that we can trust to use the funds that is put in place to organize and to do this for it to come to fruition. Because the problem is that most people are in it to make money, and nothing is wrong with making money. But if you're only going to make the money and the entertainers them suffer, it makes no sense. They are the one that is striving for this to grow, so they also need to benefit from it. You
Okay.
understand what I say?
All right. All right. Don, Don, your feeling. Don, man, what's your feelings on that? You unmute. Unmute.
What happened?
Go ahead. You're good. I unmute you. Go ahead.
Oh, when you mention about having a body to regulate the music and have rules and regulation, I don't think that's going to work because you have people with computers and you have people have their own home studio, their personal studio. You have people who use the internet to get their music on the download platforms. So how are you going to regulate those people? You can't regulate those people. They're going to continue to make derogatory music with derogatory lyrics, and they're gonna put it out there because they have their own studio. It's not like way back in the 70s where you have to go to these conventional studios and the producer listen to you and say, "Boy, I don't like that tune." Then you have to go home and no, yeah, man, buy him own equipment and have him own home studio, and friend have him own studio, and then go in there and they do what they want.
Yep.
So how do you regulate that?
Yeah, but Don,
Yeah.
um, My problem is with you. Everything that we say, you shut it down. When I get the positive vibes that come from you.
No,
Because
but it's
But
facts
but
though.
why
It's
why
facts though. It's facts. How
why
do you
why
regulate?
why
How do you tell these young people that they can't stay in them
and,
them house and them
let
basement
me say and let me say
and create their own music and put it on the internet?
and let me say
And the
this.
young DJs and the young friend, them little young friend who play in the club on weekend time, where people like me and Mackie can just not going into the club go dance to those music. Young people run the clubs. Young people are DJs and
And
they play the music.
I wouldn't necessarily say shut down, but that's Dan's thought on it. That's his views on it. How, and it's a question as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a question. How can we regulate something and you have small internet radio station. You also have terrestrial station that is not legal. You have Bandulu radio terrestrial radio stations as well. If something like this was to really come about, how would we regulate something like that? And Mackie, let me hear from you on that because it's a valid question.
Well, I want to say yes, it's a valid question, but if you put a roadblock before you start to move, you'll never move. There are things that you can control and things that you can't. Control what you can. Let us say there was a time when people from all over the world, when you want to hear what is hot in Jamaica, whatever else was going on around the world, people used to fly into Jamaica, they go to Sonic Zone and want to get the latest this week. First of all, you can create back the foundation of Jamaica where Jamaica music is concerned for the world to follow. Because the world used to follow Jamaica. So start it on the foundation then and allow other people. If you start set a system and a standard and you say, well, all right, here is the criteria for reggae and you make it available out of Jamaica. That means even if a man is playing it on a reggae station around the world and do what he wants to do, you can say he's not playing reggae because Jamaica has no launch. Let's say Jamaica set up a governance system by whatever means. And we say, well, all right, this is what is reggae. This is a solid reggae. This is what we accept. If you play anything outside of that, you can disassociate yourself from Jamaica. We want to say that is not Jamaica music. If you want to be associated with Jamaica from anywhere around the world, you must be doing this. You must be doing that. Just like you can say when a man hear a man talk patois, I hear some youth in Africa and a thing with some African youth. And when you hear them talk, yeah, man, yes, I respect my land, but they are trying their best to be Jamaican by speaking patois. They are not Jamaican. So if we have all the things that people want to connect to, create the foundation that starts standardize it from Jamaica and the rock. But when you say these are the top songs in Jamaica this week and they are reggae because A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then outsiders, similar to how they began to follow us until they take it over, that they could use our thing and win the reggae category. If we start rebuild the foundation and avalanche it, because truly as much as we are speaking here, we still are talking, is there something set aside to say this is reggae in writing out of the rock of Jamaica? Do we? Are there a couple of things that we can say these are in place and if you do this or do that? So it's like a open wide ball ground where free for all, every man just kick the ball. So if we can start tame the thing, we just begin it somewhere. I wouldn't say this can't happen, that can't happen. A man went on the beach and some starfish was there and he was throwing them back one by one and a man say you can't save them and say no that. But he can save this one and this one and this one, and when the sun comes up, save what we can. So wherever we can, let us not put the blockage, but start believe that something can happen. Start it somewhere. An organization coming together somehow, whether some vintage artists, some of it today dance artists, some of the little youth, them somehow who, and put a system together. And if we have a government in Jamaica so far, which has an arm that deal with, let us say they are paid an arm that deal with entertainment, maybe it should begin with what they are paid for to select that body and then put that body on its own with its own legislation to govern the thing, where the music can be for the benefit of the country. Because some have oil, some have gold. What do Jamaica have? Music. And if we lose it, we have tourism otherwise, which is fragile. One hurricane and it's blown away. So if we can start see the reggae like how Africa have gold and some place have diamond and some have ruby and some have all kind of thing, then the foundation must be set back. We're there, so we can begin there.
Okay, okay. Um, I apologize to our listeners. I missed about 4 calls. I'm gonna pay a much, much better attention. So, yes, let's go back to one of the questions. Well, before I even go there, Mama Acid, you've been quiet. Let me hear from you, and then we go to one of the questions.
Okay, I want to point out some figures that directly play into understanding music's effect on population. Last year in Jamaica, there was 1,463 murders. So far this year, there's been more than 400 murders. I want to look at Barbados and Trinidad. Barbados last year had 32 murders total. Now, Trinidad had 392 murders total. Why am I pointing out these figures?
Yeah.
Murder rates by size of the country. El Salvador has a murder rate by population of 61.7%. Do you know Jamaica's murder rate is 43.7%? So if we have to look at what music has an effect on, we're talking about population density, we're talking about economics, okay? One of the things I think that's really important is that we have to look at how money plays into this. We have to look at the exchange rate, the EC rate, the EU rate, all of that. And all of that affects Jamaica because there's a lot of scamming in Jamaica because the economy is bad. That's why reggae pretty much became known as strugglers' music. Now, the reggae business in Jamaica makes a lot of money. We don't understand how much money they make because, quite honestly, hardly anybody files taxes and there's no real compilation of the amount of money that's kicked in. But I can tell you, based upon what was filed by VP last year, and we know VP is not incorporated in Jamaica, but VP records more artists in Jamaica, more Jamaican artists than any other record label around the world, which I have some big problems with. But Chris Chin says that when the exchange rate went to 154.72 today, it became less important to record music in Jamaica than to just go ahead and sell the music, because people in Jamaica don't know how to sell music because they don't put the money back into the economy. They just pay the artists for voicing the tunes. So just like Mackie said and Don said, anybody with Pro Tools can be a producer. Where does the money end up? Back in Jamaica? In the hands of the drug lords. So we need to start looking at trying to figure out how to control that.
So you feel that the music that is some of the music that is being played is going back into the hands of the drug lord. I kind of missed that last part what you were saying, Acid.
Right. So VP pays artists to voice tunes, and what they do is they send down a track and they let all these artists get paid X amount of money to come in and just voice a version. So they stop putting out original music. When you stop putting out original music, that means that you don't get any royalties because there's only one person that can get a royalty, and that is the creator and the publisher. And if
Mm.
these Pro Tunes tools are owned by the record company like VP, and they have 50 artists putting out 50 different versions, VP gets all the money. The artists only get paid for voicing the versions. This is what's wrong with the music business. Don talked about this last week, and what Don said was it's important for Jamaica to start owning its music business. So, what I'm pointing out with these figures is that these figures are being used against Jamaica. Okay? Jamaica has a budget for entertainment. We have a minister in charge of it by the name of Olivia Grange. And we need to make sure that when these particular parliament members are in charge of these areas that are so crucial to the economy and the culture, that they are monitored and they are monetized properly. We can't allow all of this money to end up in the hands of people like shotters who are going to only use it to increase the murder rate. So when we see the murder rate going up, we don't see more money coming in. And the point is, if Jamaica's too dangerous to come to, producers are not going to be wanting to come down to do shows. They're not going to be wanting to come down for festivals. They're not going to be coming down looking for new artists. And artists are going to have a hard time getting visas to get out, which is what we opened the show with. So when Don and I talked last week about all these festivals in different parts of the world, I talked about how it's easier to go out in the world and promote reggae than it is to promote it in Jamaica. And Mackie talked about that at the beginning of the show. So here we go back again. We're talking about one more time. How do we get the money back into reggae? The reggae business is a business. So why are we allowing the drug dealers and the murderers to have all the money?
One thing I would like to say, I know you read some statistics about crime. I don't know if there's anything in the statistics that give evidence that the music is the cause of the crime rate. There are many other things that are business in Jamaica. Of course, you have scamming, you have drugs, you have all kind of stuff. I don't know if that is associated with the music. But one thing that I know with the music is that education of the business of music is grossly lacking. There are many persons that just want to sing song, voice for some producer, and do whatever is to be done, and they don't know anything about the business of music. And that is one of the reasons why I don't go into production, because you may take an artist who you say you are producing this artist, and you probably have his music all over the internet, and you makes no money with the songs out there. Cause in truthfully, I don't even know if they buy music in Jamaica anymore. People find them on YouTube and just play them. As a matter of fact, I don't know how we're going to make money out of music anymore. Because you voice a song and done it today, it's on YouTube and somebody just play them from the internet, even driving in a car. So when it comes to the music, there needs to be a total re-education of people in the music business as to how to set up the system where you can get your royalties, you can put out your music out there, and you have the means and the ways of ensuring how do you get it copyright, how do you register in the right society, how do you register in a society that collect royalties on your behalf, how is the percentage shared, because there are persons who can write songs and can't sing, but you don't venture the music because you can't sing, and many people can sing and can't write. And there are many persons who can record some nice songs and they do all of that, and when it ends up and you do your music video and everything is out there and you get nothing back because you don't know the business. And so right now there need, I think 90% of the people that are in the music don't know anything about music business. Music is music and music is music and business. So many persons sing, many persons do all kind of thing and have your thing out there, but you don't have a clue. There was a particular song that myself do and this virgin Taddy P. We have a song Leave the Crumbs Alone. So Taddy P he uploaded it on a particular platform where we are supposed to be sharing it 50-50. And he called me one day and said to me, boy, I need to go on the same platform and relinquish my percentage that he can get his 50 in. When I went and realized I wasn't even on that platform. So I joined the platform to put in my 50, only to find out that there's somebody else there with 100 on it. That's why he couldn't get his 50 in. If that person he thought that organization in was me, it wasn't me. Now, when I put in my 50 is 50, it now becomes 200%. We have to find the other person, send them an email and ask them to relinquish their 100% on a song that is not yours. But there are so many people in the music business that in music, you record, you sing, and you do everything all your life, and you don't get a dollar. But someone else, unless there's a look how many songs come out of Jamaica and how many persons when they die, they are squabbling to bury them. They have all hits here, there, and there because some
Yep.
people in this thing are not interested in people learning the music business. Because if people know, they will know what you are doing. So there, while you are getting paid and they are not. So it now come right back to where that governance system of the music should come about, where something, some organization is able to ensure that education process of this thing called music, where right now in Jamaica through JCAP, I think more than 70% of the royalties go outside of the country for the
Yes,
music played in Jamaica.
yes,
So and if so much of the money is going outside of the country, we need to have the reverse system where people are educated that when our music go to foreign, a large percentage of that money be coming to us as well. So a lot of stuff where people like you have to sue somebody outside for using something
Hold the
of
line, caller.
yours. So it is very important that the education program is launched, which would have formed part of that system that govern the music. People need to know the business. They must know the music and not the business.
Okay, we do have a caller. Caller, greetings.
Yes, lady.
Greetings. You're
Greetings.
live. Uh-huh.
Yes, yes, yes. All of you are very knowledgeable, and I'm enjoying everything you are saying. What you all are doing is what the legend, living legend, should be doing. I applaud all of you. The living legend, the Ken Board, the Leroy Smart, the Freddie McGregor, and them should be doing what this program right here. Manner and respect to each and every one of you.
Manners. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go also back to the thanks for checking in. Thanks for calling in. The Linda School SETSS agency says, well said. Sandra Brown says, is that because the song wasn't patented? And Sandra Brown also says, because I thought if it isn't patented, you really don't have any claim rights.
It's copyright. It's not patent.
All right, if she's in relating to the song I was talking about, we have a copyright on the song, but as it relates to publishing, let us say I Taddy P uploaded to Sound Exchange to collect your royalties on behalf. I wasn't a part of Sound Exchange, so I did also because he asked me to. So I went back and put in my RSRC code and whatever it is, only to find out that he is seeing 100% there and think it was mine. Some other person sees it out there without a name and put their name on it. And probably other people is collecting your money because you may not know the business. Can you imagine if I have an idea of the business? Can you believe how many other persons have no clue? Like you have some people just sing a song, you put it on YouTube and just leave it there. Where is it that you have a copyright on it? Where is it that you have anything stated? Some people just sing a song and send it out there. It is your copyright. How do you know how important that contents of your lyrics can be, or who else can take it and sing it and take it to the next level? So unless we educate the people about the business of music, we will have many persons in the music and none in the business. So business in the music is extremely lacking.
Well, let me ask this question now. With the young people in the business in Jamaica, who's supposed to teach them the business of music, Mackie?
Good question. What we are doing now, probably at least if we have an organization to say teach the music business. Right now, yeah, they have a proper music school, music class in school. I don't know, great music class in school. It probably should be going through the curriculum because you see, they have a thing called careers day in school, you know. Some children dress as a mason, they dress as a doctor, as a lawyer, as a teacher, or whatever. But you hardly see anybody dress as a musician. They say a youth dress like your career path is a musician or an artist. So if we were focusing the music as what can be a career path, then we should have been teaching it in school as well. We should have music foundation education in school because it is not only music, it goes into poetry as well. It goes into creating anything at all. What if you are able to do a piece of artwork, you are able to draw something? It is creativity. So creativity probably should have been and patent and copyright should be taught from basic school where people can start know about intellectual property. When you can paint something, you can do something, you can do the value of it because there is great value in creativity. And you don't know where your creativity can lend in the hands of something because we only focus on education, meaning read and write. But education can be educated in many things, and there are many persons that make it in life without those going to school because they are intelligent. So if we teach intelligence and people know your value and your worth and the value of using your hands and your God-given talent, put it on the pedestal from small that when you don't make it in school academically, you can make it with your skills and talent. So we must start holding the value and teach people the value of talents from early. So that's where it all should begin.
Andrew, Andrew, are you still here? Okay, we don't have Andrew. Let's go to one of the questions here. Um, they're asking all of us, does reggae does it represent a gender? In response to Lila Ike, anybody wants to address that?
Music is genderless. I mean, any agenda, when you talk about reggae agendas,
I don't think the question was music. It's the question was reggae. Does it rep a gender based off Ike? So I think what they're talking about is the situation that was out with one of the artists whom came out to be that she was.
Listen, lady, me shut down that right away. Music is music, man.
All right.
Music is music. Okay? Me personally, I'm busy with people and them with them wandering in them bedroom. Okay, and them private life and them sexual life. Music is music. If you put out good music, me respect that.
Okay.
And that is why reggae suffer today because of the homophobic people them out there with the music. And lay the groundwork for mash up the things with them homophobia. I know the people with the money who they're catering to or who they're trying to win over, who they're trying to get on their big time festival. Those are the same people they must sing about and with the people them lifestyle. Leave the people them lifestyle alone and do music. That's why a lot of them stuck in Jamaica now and don't have a visa for travel because they don't know when to shut them out and just do music.
that's it. Mackie, what you got to say about that?
With Mackie, all right, go ahead. If Mackie want to say, I mean, and then Um,
Yeah.
I
You
had
see,
some thoughts and it went to the left, but go ahead.
this society is made with quite a few different people, right? If you want to take it from religion in the first place, I don't even know who is God, but I believe there is a God. All of that is belief, right? So a man who believes in God is equal to one who don't believe in God. There are a variety of people in this world that have different views and different opinions that they may be entitled to. There are things that seem not logical, and if you want to relate to sexuality, even it may not be logical. I step away from it. It's not logical to me. It might be logical to you, but that is not my mission in the business. My mission in
Thank
the
you.
business is not
Thank you, Mackie.
it.
Thank you, Mackie.
But but you see, there may be some other people that have their mission in the business, so they can address it from their perspective. As it relates to the music, music is free, and if you feel like sing that, you go on. I don't feel like sing that, I won't. There was a particular artist who went to a place to do a show, and they did the show, and after they are through with the show, and when they left, they sang hardcore reggae music, and when they left, the language and the backdrop was written in English. So they did their show, did what the hardcore reggae music got to play and left, and then somebody interpreted the language. It was a gay party. They went there to do a different thing. They didn't deliberately go there to do what. But in this thing, I don't want to get involved and intertwined into that. I am here to say what I have to say. Clean music. If as you relate to Ike, I don't business what she do, and people try to blame Chronics and all those people for being associated. I don't want to get into that department. If you do some good music, do some good music. We are here to free oppression. We are here to free um liberate people from whatever there is. There's a lot of people that preach and don't live what they preach. So I don't want to get involved into the preaching thing more than when I come to preach what I have to preach. I want to be in a position to live what I preach. And I don't want to get into avenues that really have nothing to do with me. God, this world is made. If this world is made by one God, He may do the cleaning up when it comes to time. Because some people look clean and they're not. So me let's say, wow, when them say wheat and tears grow together, till
Till
the
the
day
day
of
of
harvest.
harvest.
Sweater,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So we don't want to get in that department. I am not into. I don't deal with religion. I don't deal with sexuality. I know who I am, and I stand up for my principles and what govern the people within my circle that I care for. Like you can say your children or whatever there is. There are children who do things outside of what you expect, and family outside of what you expect. I don't know. So we have an individual spirit and we have to work with it the best we can and let harvest there solve some problem.
One of the great, very excellent, excellent with both of you. Mama Acid, did you want to chime in on anything with that?
And I just want to say that the two of them defined exactly what people need to understand because agendas are something that music is there's no agenda in music. A musician goes into creation deciding what they want you to hear in that period of time that that song or that poem lasts. How can you even think that an agenda is part of someone's creative process? We understand that people create agendas after they see things, but we need to learn that the agenda for reggae needs to be to preserve and to heighten the profile of reggae and to get more reggae into the music stream. Because until we do, reggae is going to still end up being treated as
That
something other than music. And right now, there's so much money being made in music that I don't understand why we don't have artists getting deals like that $400 million deal that Drake just got yesterday.
okay. So
Talking about Drake. Talking about Drake. Earlier Mackie said something about the bigger paycheck coming out of Jamaica for royalties and is not Jamaican. Drake, like I said last week, Drake got the biggest royalty check from Jamaica last year. Drake was the artist who collected the biggest royalty check coming out of Jamaica last year. Canadian Drake, not a
The
Jamaican.
whole Caribbean, Don.
And,
Yeah, it
and
was Drake.
what about what's the next one that always goes over there? Oh my gosh.
You see,
What's that next producer guy? Oh my gosh, my mind just left.
people must understand. Mackin can allude to this. I mean, they're talking about their superstars, and look at the units. You have big superstars selling 800 units worldwide. 800, and they think that is a big deal, putting them on the reggae chart with only 800 units sold. When you have rap artists selling millions in 1 month, in 6 months, 3-4 million in 6 months, and we're talking about you have reggae album winning reggae album with 1,300 copies and win the reggae album that year. I won't call the name, but there was a reggae group that won the Grammy, and the year when they won it, they only moved 1,300 units.
Wait a minute. Was that Morgan Heritage?
1,300 units. Come on.
So do you all,
Morgan Heritage.
because we going back to Grammy. Grammy definitely rig because I've saw certain things on social media as well, and spoke to several people who said the one year that the Marleys wasn't in it, someone else won. So I mean, do you all think that the reggae scene is rigged? The Grammy is rigged in that way? And before you answer that, some another question was with Jamaicans so hard head, with Jamaican people so hard head,
Yeah.
who will be the one to choose this entertainment government? Who will be the ones to choose this entertainment government with the way Jamaicans are?
They're gonna answer. Don and Mackie is answering that. I'm sticking in my
Go ahead.
corner.
I missed the question.
Who the question was with Jamaican hard head. These are the words I'm going from. Who will be the one to choose this entertainment government? Who are the ones that's going to be the one to put this, let's say this government, this board thing. Let me elaborate a little off of what I'm reading here. Let's say this government come along. This who will be the one to choose the persons for these positions?
I would assume they would send out invitation, and they would have a meeting somewhere in Jamaica, because definitely it would be based in Jamaica, right? So the Carolyn Cooper, Dr. Carolyn Cooper, and all the brains and all of those people, and my entertainment lawyer that's on social media all the time. All those people, they need to come to the forefront and organize this thing. You got Professor Cooper. You got, I can't remember his name. He's an entertainment lawyer, Jamaican, who's an entertainment lawyer. He's all over
Dr.
social.
Rowe from University of South Florida.
I don't know. No, another one. I can't remember.
Yeah,
his
but I'm
name
saying
right now.
Dr. Rowe too, because Dr. Rowe deals with entertainment and finance.
So you have people, qualified people out there who can come together and put together a committee who can do that. But are they willing to do that? That's the question.
Your thoughts, Mackie. Andrew not answering. Okay.
There's a lot of hard things happening in this world. Many things are very hard, but if you start it, it can finish. Selecting is a hell of a task. I guess the first thing that is required. And so when you're doing business, you must never worry about the money. You must first of all have the thought, and then the rest will fall into place. So probably the first thing to do is to have an agreement that this is relevant by the majority of the people, whether it come out to be a vote or whether it come out to be something out in the media. Say, do we need to put together a governance, that an organization that govern whatever, and put it out there somewhere in the system, and when a majority of people agree say this might be something relevant, then it will be easier to start look and set up a criteria who are or how persons to be selected. and the rules and regulations. But I mean, it might be something that is relevant in this time because we cannot afford to continue allowing us to lose Jamaica music.
Yeah.
Because rightfully at this point in time, the music we have is nice, it comes out of Jamaica, but we can't claim it. So we need a music that we can claim. Because if you realize all the artists that have died, we cannot identify a replacement up to this point in time. We have one band named Third World. Do we see one in sight? Chalice, do we see one in sight? Do we have John Holt? Do we see one in sight? We have two little youth Romain Virgo, Taurus Riley, them youth. I don't even know where them there right now. We don't know. You, it's hard to even determine who is next at this point in time. That's why probably man like me, we just make some music and say if we don't make no money, the next generation we can say we did contribute something. Because some of us should have gone far into the thing with the contents of what we do in the lyrics, the music, and whatever, so we can say, no worry yourself, it's still there. So, but something needs to set in place. So, I don't know, put out the word here and get all the whole world talking, say this is needed, and action might be stimulated, Start with a
Lady,
voice.
Lady D, I just got a text from a friend saying that they're trying to call and they can't get through.
All right, tell him try it now. I'm gonna
It's hot.
when when the line is tied up. I'm not when I'm not looking. It's not ringing in my ears. I don't know why. Caller, you're live on the air. Greetings, caller. You're live on the air.
Hi, lady.
Hello, hi. How you doing?
Turn on the radio in the
I'm
background.
fine.
Please turn the radio down in the background. And you all can call in at 706
Turn that down, sir.
955 I'll pay close attention because I know I have missed a couple of calls as
Yeah.
well.
No, it's the interrupt with them.
Go ahead,
That's
caller.
all I say.
Caller, could you turn down
Yes.
the music in the background? Yes.
Yes. What I'm saying about the committee. By the committee.
Still the radio
Please
is still
turn
on.
down. Please
The
turn
radio
down.
is still on.
Your radio is too high in the background.
It's still loud. Hello, lady.
Yes.
Yes. I want to make a comment about the committee. Um, what I'm saying is that to form the committee, the first thing we have to do is get.
She's listening to
You're
herself.
caller.
Committee.
Caller, wait a minute. We have to please. You have to if you can please turn down the music. Turn down the radio
We
in the
turned
back.
it down.
All right.
We
All
turned it
right.
down.
All
We
right.
turned it down.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm in the car driving, so I'm sorry
That's
about
that's
that.
that's fine.
But
That's fine.
okay, what I'm saying about is the committee. Okay, to start the committee, the first thing we have to do is find out who is interested in being on that committee. Then they can submit their name, their qualification and everything, and then we vote on that, or you let the people vote on it to decide, who they want to represent them as a Jamaican for the reggae music industry. Okay, and that's the way I think we should choose the committee. Let the people vote on them, but let the people that are interested in being on the committee, let them send in their application so we know that they are interested in doing it, and we're not just assigning them and they don't want to do it. Okay, so we should monitor them and everything else to find out what's going on, and the people are the one that's choosing them for that qualified applicants. Okay, thank you. Love you. Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Lady D, can you repeat the phone number? Somebody said, please repeat the phone number again.
Yes. It's 706-955-2001 is the number. It's 706-955-2001 is the number to get us right here in the studio and voice your opinion and your concern. Anyone wanted? Andrew, I was asking earlier. But you're back. I was asking earlier. One of the questions that was posed was with Jamaica Hardhead, who will choose the entertainment committee? As you were saying, entertainment committee. Caller, hold the line. Go ahead.
Well, just like the caller was saying a while ago, we need just like the football federation in Jamaica. They have to do a survey, find out who's qualified and who's the they're asked to submit an application, just like you're applying for a job. It is sent out to the public in the newspaper. You get a feedback of who this person is, what they stand for, what are their qualifications, what they're able to bring to the table. And then you have an election. And that person serve on the committee for a number of years, whether 2 or 3 years. And if they're not performing the way that they're supposed to perform, you have a second in command. And it goes like that. So at any given time, there's always something and in place that will answer not just to us, but answer to the whole body.
We do have a caller on the line. Caller,
Good night.
good night.
Well,
Right.
how are you?
I'm blessed. We're
This is
blessed. How are you?
greetings to everyone. Dan Miner, this is Sledge on the phone. That big up to Dan Miner at Mackie Conscious. It's a very and everyone there that's on the program. Boy, I'm tuning late. I thought it was 9 o'clock.
Okay.
I was thinking at 9 o'clock and the tuning at 9 o'clock and was so disappointed. Cover miss a part of the show. But I do have a lot to say tonight. Hope we have time.
Yes. But
I listen to a few of the stuff that I'm gonna have. A lot of things. It's gonna be a long haul, but I'm gonna try to get through some of the points. Are we here?
yes, we
No?
are.
Yes. But before we do anything, the other gentleman that was talking earlier about the drug law and the money from the music going to drug law and all that stuff, and then their financing gangs and stuff. I don't know where you're getting information from because first thing is first, the music, the selling of the music is not turning over any money at all to facilitate or to finance crime. So if there's money coming through with drug laws and stuff, it's through their own drug enterprises. If the music was turning over enough funding, we can do all of that stuff. A lot more artists would have been more successful. Because like earlier, Dan said, artists winning a Grammy and selling 1,300 copies. Then the kind of money they can finance no kind of crime bill or crime bill. So that part they don't really agree with it. But where I do want to start different, otherwise from that is that the music in Jamaica, the whole reggae fraternity, it is in total disarray. It is so disorganized, unbelievable. And most of the things for the past 10 years, 10, 12 years has become just a hustle and a hype, nothing substantial, no foundation. The only foundation we have is artists like Dan, Mackie, the music itself. But in terms of organization, um in terms of being organized, there is no foundation anywhere at all in the business when it comes to Jamaica and even the ones that are in the diaspora overseas. And that problem is not just a music problem we have. right? And never step a little deeper. Everything, if you notice the whole economy of Jamaica and the whole thing, nothing is organized. Everything is sold out or owned or on the tier out to be owned by somebody else. And we in Jamaica, Jamaicans, we are the loudest people in the country. Everywhere across the world we go, we can pinpoint to Jamaica. We know nothing wrong with being loud. But then when you look behind that knife, what do we have to show as something substantial? We disorganize, we open the door, let everybody else in, and our own people will shut them out. Because I remember back in the 90s when the Chinese came down, the Caucasian came down, everybody came down, and they were studying the reggae. Because 90s reggae music, 90s dancehall, everything was top of the line. And the Chinese came, everybody came and they come down with the video, and the video, the fingers of the bass player playing the bass, how the drums start, the keyboard bang, the shuffle, the guitar, the video, every single thing. And we let them in and teach them the music. We taught them music. Back in those days, artists used to go on tours in Japan and all over the place. Our artists used to headline shows. And once we let the people then in and then learn the music and the business, they already have the business mind because unfortunately our people is not graphic. So they already have the business aspect in them. They just need to learn the music because the music is so valuable, it is so good, it is so conscious, and everybody wants a piece of it. We have it, didn't know what to do with it. So when they go back to their habitat, their land, where they live, they learn it, go back, and can reproduce it. Not as good as us, not the rubber dub, not the good deep feeling that how we produce it. But then they produce it to a point that they is acceptable to them. Now, the first person to start the Jamaican artist was Japan. They found people to imitate the Jamaican artists. And then they started to keep the concerts and putting out thousands and thousands of people. Until mostly they stopped inviting stop booking Jamaican artists. And then that thing came to the US, till it gone to Europe. I used to see him performing in front of 80,000 people. And it's not on his own it's not on his own scene. It's performed with gentlemen or a scare band in Europe. And when our artists go there to do certain concerts, we're not pulling 10% of that crowd. I will not deny 2011, someone from Barrington Levy was in California performing. Barrington Levy, the stalwart, one of the gem, one of the triggers of reggae. And he was opening to some, I'm not being racist, but that's how the news came to me. He was opening for some younger white band playing reggae. And he was the opener of those guys. Barrington Levy.
So,
because we let everybody in, we don't put a structure on it, and then we shut each other out. So other people come in and took it and gone with it.
So
and
Sledge.
left us in the dust.
So Sledge, let me ask you this question. Because I hear you use the word taught. Who taught these artists Jamaican music, reggae music structure? Was it persons that sat down and showed them how to play keys, or did these people engage, come to the concert and listen to the rhythm and the beats on their own, and copied our music? But when you use the word taught,
yes, because
it was we how did we teach these persons how to do that? I mean, did they not just come to a show and see these things going on and learned it on their own?
No,
like every
they did copy what they were taught. They were taught in because let me say something about our people. We share. We are not selfish. Right? We share what we have. And the bad part of it is will share with other people that is not like us. But then when we're supposed to share it with our own, that's where we made a mistake. But we share. So when the guys that come down and they decide to book a reggae band, because I was at a rehearsal when my virgin band was rehearsing with the white guy, and the people that was there with their camera and the VHS camera and the videoing the movement of the finger on the bass line and when they move from the bass area, they go over to the drum. And then they learn that reggae music, when the drummer go brah, 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 boom, they lead off with the kick. They learn that it was led by the kick drum. And then the bass comes in and tie up and everything is joined. Sometimes together, sometimes separate. And they learn the different styles. And they copy, they copied and we taught them. Because sometimes you can watch a person do something, you're probably not learning the art of it and the depth of it until somebody says, no, you have all of the structure right, but this is the channel you have to take. So we taught them how to do it. But the thing about it is that music is not selfish. The business of music is selfish. And we as a people wanted the music to go further because if you see among us, it's not going to travel. So we, like everything else, we just open the door and these guys come to Chinese alert, these guys alert, that's what the music is going to go further. Where artists will get tours, the music will sell overseas, but they have their own plans. They have their own plans because they are not buying our music. We not buying our music. They came to take it, and that's what they did with the help of us. If we had put a hold on it, figure a way to put a hold on it because I'm an artist. And I am blessed that I can perform country, the right one country music. I can perform R&B, just mostly, not everything. I'm not open to jazz because I'm a voice phone. If you go in jazz, you can find. But if I venture out in those genres, they will not let me in. They will not let me in, and we let everyone in, and that's part of the topic I'm trying to push. But then we looking to get the music further, we let a bit of that structure just like we do everything else. And it's not, and I'm going to say this: we don't have a music problem enough. Black people have a problem, and if you look across worldwide, where anything that black people have that is of value, them drop the ball and box up with it, and then somebody else come in and take it and own it. Look at Africa. Look at how rich Africa is. Look at all the minerals and gold. Everything we use in the cell phone comes from Africa. A lot of stuff came from Africa. What African own? Them barely have anything because other people come in and take it. And we and black people have a way of sharing other people and then not sharing with each other. So we are to go back to the history, to the pyramids and Egypt and all that stuff. We have a long variety of history. But guess what? We allow somebody to come, take it, wipe it, rewrite it. Because we're not a structured kind of people. We are of a free mind, free range, and we're not learning. So that is a problem. And then we have this thing where sometimes I've seen artists were supposed to support another artist and it don't do because he wants to go ahead of that artist. There was a thing some years ago where Dan Man himself had a song on a chart. I was supposed to call out votes. Votes didn't count the third and win. So me have votes, me I link up in our Facebook message. Vote for that. Because Dan is the art and respect. To me, it's hard for a version of Burning Spear. Can songs them so solid and good and doing this for a while and in songs them good. And that is a person I really admire personally and in the music. And I send this artist a message and say, hey, go right to your that. I'm not telling how even to this day it hurt me. The artist says, vote for Dan what right what? I'm a politician and I'm like my response was any politician. We're on this side and this happens to him. And the man so down on a politician and right now I can't bother with that right now. They depend that right now. And he never responds. And ever since that we are lost. So and I think the jealousy will come in here people want to go ahead of you. They don't want you to go ahead of them. And that's one of the dumbest things in our people.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody can put you Lady D, Lady D station one of the biggest stations, put her through. Because the only thing is just gonna filter back down on you. Anything good that comes out of reggae work for all of us. And a lot of things where people just want to be the man at the man in front and the man at the moment. They don't know the business, don't learn the business. Somebody was saying artists like earlier artists are supposed to teach people about this stuff, but they never know themselves. Because we weren't taught. We weren't taught business. We were taught to be servants. And even now, and because this problem is so wide, even people coming out of school in Jamaica and college and then working at a call center, they are trained to serve other people. And everything that comes through Jamaica, the Jamaicans are trained to be servants, not to own. The marijuana business, the people in Jamaica would have loved to have a license to do an export. They can't get it, but somebody from overseas can come down and get the license over them. Somebody can come to Jamaica and bring chemical chemical thing with them build up with this different strain of the marijuana and can plant all of the good natural organic stuff. So all these points that mostly is not just a music problem in Jamaica. And we as black people, we are disorganized.
Yeah, I'll agree with
So
that. I'll agree with that.
How are we going to try and it probably take generation down the line before we start to any changes. And if you notice the direction of the world, everything is stacked against us with dark. Once you look on as a Negro, everything is stacked against you because in everybody else's mind, we are at the bottom of the table and they don't respect us. If we move into certain neighborhood, the other people decide to know them can't see them more than go deep into the woods. They don't want to be among us. So how are we gonna win back our own? The only way to do it, we have to become organized. How to become organized? First, because sometimes you're trying to explain something to a person, and of course, they don't want to hear it. They want to hear about dinner, then this Gucci, that here, certain people mindset too. Because if I post something conscious on my Facebook page, I will not get much response. But if I take a picture and says, yo, get my money, oh my God, like, after like, people comment and it's like, oh, nice picture, this, that, I love that. But if I post something conscious, nobody will respond.
Nobody responds.
That is part of a problem.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. They don't want to hear anything conscious. And let me say this. Let me say this, Sledge. In my programming, and then I want to hear from Donna, Mackie, and Mama Asid and Andrew. I even mentioned this last week on my program that when we look at our stats, the Lady D show particular, and between 12 and 2 is is a set music. I play conscious music. I play old music, old school music. Is those type of music. I play a Dana. I play a Mackie. You understand? Those are during that 12 to 2 hour, and from 2 to on, I mix it up. I mix it a little R&B, soca, African, and some little dancehall. But you see, between the hours of 12 and 2, I see that that is the lowest listenership. As I start out, it's like, and I have moved the time. Couple of times I even try to put some of the cultural music lower down into the program. And you can see the logging off. You can see the logging off, and then you see them check in and check out, whoever it is. You understand? So the the cultural music itself, people is not even wanting to listen to it. They're
No, they
not
don't. Oh,
gravitating to it. They don't even want to listen to
Lady D, I would like
it.
to make a comment on that conversation there.
Go ahead, Mackie.
What I realize, people like to listen to, if you want to say popular music, popular songs at the time, popular songs for the moment. A lot of cultural music, of course, may have been some music that, let us say you play some John Walter, whatever other songs that has been there some time ago. They may not be the popular songs of the day. So it is likely that persons that want to listen will want to listen to the songs of the day, which is possibly some of the dancehall songs, which is the songs of the day that can be understood. But a lot of persons who that does songs probably like myself or Dan, we still do songs today. But if these songs don't get a chance to become popular, because people still don't take the songs of, let's say, the songs of the day once they become popular. A lot of the songs that the people, let's say the young generation listens, what songs that are fed upon them. Many persons don't know what is out there until they hear it. Some songs are literally fed upon the people from time to time over a period of time that they become popular. Let us say when Taras Riley did She's Royal, that was a popular song of the time. And if you play it within that time, let's call it a conscious song then. It would have been played a lot because it's popular of the day. So if there's a concerted effort by persons in the media to start finding the today songs, because there are good other songs that are relevant today that needs an opportunity to be popular, that people can like them. Of course, we always want to play what we like. So if we can get the media now start mixing the thing, find the songs of today, I don't expect to be playing oldies and expect to get a listenership. But if there are songs that are relevant and new and they come, and not just yourself alone, other people's in the business, just start to put them together and play them again. People will like them again and want to hear them and request them, even a generation of today. But there are songs that are played today that the generation gravitate to just the same. So I think that is where the point is, because one of the things also, making a good song take a lot more time. Some people just take a beat, hit a beat and a punchline, and they sing something and it's done and gone. So it is done cheaper than when we go into the studio and create a song that might require a certain level of musicianship to put it together. So you find that more of that song is going to be relevant at this point in time. But if we have a foundation that we want to continue on and keep something together, nothing's wrong with what is happening today. As I say, if the music of today, we can sing on that beat as well, but make it Jamaican. So if it is the beat, then we can sing on that beat too, because we are songwriters and we are musicians. So there is no problem singing. And the only point that I have as it relates to the beat of today is it really Jamaican? If we are preserving Jamaican. So it's a matter of putting the two things together, because we can't sink this generation because they are the future. And we have to give them an opportunity to shine. And even if reggae is going to be obsolete after a while, whatever is going to take over, let us try to ensure that what is taking the market or taking the world is indeed Jamaican. Let's say it's not reggae, but it's leggae, something else, dancehall, something, but maintain something to do with the foundation. Other than that, we're going to lose the music. So the music in whatever form, we may just lose the entire thing. So it's not a matter of pushing what you want to say, culture or whatever. But culture can be in a many form. But let us balance the thing so people can like it. If you don't play it, they won't hear it. So they won't like it. It will just become new music every time.
That
Yeah. Well, one one of the problem that I what not a problem one, but there's something that I observe is that people in my age group, they're not going out, they're not going to the club, they're not going to parties. It's young people. It's young people, right? And they're the one who determine which song is popular and which song is not popular. So when you say, Lady D, that you play certain cultural tune and the numbers are low, it's because these young people listening to you, the people like me in my age group.
we're not listening to radio.
No,
We're
young
not
people.
listening to radio.
No, young people listening to go and tune in and listen to Lady D.
Yeah.
Young people in their 30s and late 20s and 40s. 60, 70-year-old people now listen to the radio, listen to the reggae music. They matter about them. Yeah, they're talking about the Bible and them church and whatever, whatever.
And they have and they have a limited time span. If
So
they
that
want,
yeah,
so they listen.
that is why when you say you shift to the other song, the other music now, it comes back. Oh, that's the type of music they want to hear.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear the oldies. Cause for whatever reason, that is my generation music. The young people don't want to hear that.
Right. And they don't even want to hear the newer cultural music as well, unless it's almost like a chronics, like a music like that.
And it's not authentic reggae chronics is playing either.
Right. So how do we get the interest of the youths them of today to gravitate to this music?
I don't have an answer.
Yes, go ahead.
There is one aspect of the music that over the years I watched it, and music that I didn't even know but born later on is like the music still changes over a period of time. We started out with Mento, right? And after Mento, where we went Ska. And after leaving Ska, then we went to Rocksteady. After Rocksteady, reggae comes in. Reggae born Rocksteady. And after reggae, it was dancehall. Not the kind of dancehall I'm having. It's the 90s, one drop dancehall. Admiral Bailey, Lieutenant Richie, Young Girl, Where You Stars. That 90s, 80s, 90s dancehall. And the music changed. And to understand the music change now too. They change to dancehall. And move from that to it's fused with hip hop. And that started when Shabba Ranks was signed to CES. And when Shabba came and Shabba did the first album, when Shabba started playing, they changed the music, they changed the dancehall with the hip hop, even though the hip hop was born from the dancehall. But they are the ones with the money, the opportunity, and all of that. So they kind of use it because they can put it out there. When you hear something happening, they start like. But what I'm saying is, I said that to say that the music still changes, and we still have to accept that the music change.
Right.
You understand? We still have to accept that, and the young people is gonna go to what's going on now because whatever is in their era, they are going to listen to that. If they if they're in a mood and they want to hear some Sizzler or some Dwayne Stevenson, um, happy conscious. If they want to hear from Dan Mine, but the songs they want to has to be like you guys said, popular. So we have to act, and now we're going to track music. No doubt about that. But there is a there is a variety of people who still want conscious music, good music, and we can't because the music change. We're gonna shut and turn around to the young people in music. Even though the artist still then in say, we put no good music, but you know what here. When we do the gimmicks and all the wap. That's what we want here. So
Spice said that too. Spice said that too. She put out good music on it, and nobody no want to hear it. Nobody no buy it. Nobody no want to hear it.
Truth. It's sex and violence that is selling. If it does not to do with sex and violence, it's really not.
yeah, fashion,
Mhm.
sex, violence, fashion, and hot girl,
Yeah.
and a hot girl. Yeah, sex, couple hot girl coming. Yeah. Sex, violence, fashion, hot girl.
Mhm.
And then at one point we had a bad man culture. But bad mind, that one here.
Yeah.
But it's cultured into us with the bad minded thing. Because it's not here. When we hear him on the radio, we never know about it. And I used to go around the TSP talent show with as a guest artist. Cliff, Clifford. He was a guest. He was a contestant at the time. And each one was different parishes. And I was one of the guest artists traveling with him and performing. You understand? And when he make a breakthrough, when he made a breakthrough, and a friend of mine is a producer, why then he used I say, you think for what? Because he make a breakthrough and they did it. So then the whole band start in the 90s.
Let me
You understand? So it's a whole I couldn't understand how an artist could make a breakthrough and some other artist despise him just for that. Them should have pushed forward and hang up and put years.
let me ask
It's a
this.
lot.
Let me ask a question too in regards to the cultural music of upliftment. Let's say that. Can artists know, such as let's say Dan and my and Mackie and yourself, can artists know to these upliftment music of some of these beats that are that are popular to draw the younger listenership to 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 make them gravitate more toward if Mackie, if you put comes alone on one of these bigger beats, are these oh my god,
Producers.
producers, are they reaching out to artists such as yourself to go on some of these rhythms to bring somewhat of a different flavor to the music?
I first of all, as I say, I'm a musician and I respect every genre of music. And I still say, even though we sing or whatever to do with reggae, I still appreciate the music of today if it has the Jamaican foundation. That's my point. However, if our stuff, whatever we want to say, conscious music, there is no objection to it being placed on any rhythm whatsoever for the sake of the message. For unfortunately, the music that are being made on these kind of rhythm doesn't seem to be carrying the messages. Hence, they don't want the message and the music. Or those producers who produce many of these music are not interested in what you want the way called positive message. Like you would have said, if it's a comedy show, it's just comedians are expected. And if the music they are making today, you must either be making it sexy or naked, or if you want to say gun type lyrics. So these music are the vehicle of carrying these things. And it seems like they are not interested in putting anything else on it other than that. So if you keep pushing that, the demand will continue to be for that, and it comes back to making the money for that. So even though nothing is wrong with the new beat, I don't see anything wrong with the new beats. But persons are producers of these new beats. They probably are the people who gravitated to the lyrics today. They are so spoiled to the point where they are not interested in anything else on this music other than what you already culture them to want. So you have created the demand in them in the first place, that the only thing that they want is what you already create. So the only thing that can change that is what you call a drastic reverse. Like I said, cut it out totally. If it is creating enmity in the society, because you realize, as you say, music is one of the things, or the lyrics in the music is one of the things that drive the behavior of the people. A lot of people's behavior. I hear a young lady, a big enough woman, tell me that is Vibes Cartel music she live out in her bedroom. And I'm talking about adult, big woman. Is the things what you hear in the music that she ensure that she live it back. So as much as, and I was surprised to hear from her, but hearing that there are substances that are in some of these music that people live by. If you feed people on them, they will continue to want it and continue to want to live by it. It's coming like if you have a child and you see your child is in demand for certain things, you might take away the tablet or you might take away the phone. But unless you get to that stage, if it is not harming anyone, keep doing what it is. If there is no harm, but if we can able to say, listen to this, but don't make it be a
There
part of your
is
life.
harm. The
That's what it
murder
is.
rate is proving it. The murder rate is going through the ceiling. And that's why I'm sorry I have to jump in here and say that when people like that woman, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say this is my opinion. I'm going to qualify it by saying that first. If you don't think there's harm to what's going to the people in Jamaica, look at how many young girls are getting snatched up, kidnapped, killed. Look at how many children are getting killed. Look at how many children are now becoming children of the gun. They can't read, but they know when they see a pistol to find some brass and how to assemble it. How can a kid know how to assemble submachine gun? How can a submachine gun be produced in Jamaica when Jamaica doesn't have any gun factories? Jamaica is a gun factory.
All right. It says
I
Conrad.
saw a comment a while ago, you see,
Yeah,
which
Conrad
says,
says crank it, and then he also came back and says reggae song.
yeah, that comment. No reggae song more violent than I Shot the Sheriff. I
Madness.
Shot
Exactly.
the Sheriff. No, no, no. I want to
Madness.
disagree.
Yeah.
Right?
Here is the lineage where that is concerned. If I say I shot the sheriff, I'm speaking about me shooting a sheriff. But I never tell you to shoot anybody. There are songs which literally that put you to the point to tell you what to do, instill in you, and it makes you feel like you want to be that. A culture of bad man that makes you, unless you have a gun, you're not respected. I shot the sheriff is only speaking about one man speaking about something that he
It's
did.
a metaphor. It's a
Re-
Right.
metaphor.
the reason I said I want to throw this back in is because these numbers matter. Let me say this. In Trinidad, they have a much more violent culture than they do in Jamaica. And in Trinidad, they got a whole lot less murders because Trinidad hangs people and is no longer a part of the privy court system. In addition to that, Trinidad has a moratorium on certain types of music. I've not been wanting to say this, but I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this about certain other nations in the Caribbean because I have traveled widely, and I mean widely. I have heard it all, and I have sat here and been quiet, and now I'm fed up. So please forgive me, but I'm about to say something that's going to piss everybody off. Until somebody
Yeah.
says enough, it's never going to be enough.
Boy, I'm gonna let you go ahead and vent. Acid. It's 10:17. We have just went over our time, but you're saying it's enough. What's enough? Acid. We have another comment from
Why does Jamaica have
Smart.
so far 400 murders, and in the total in Trinidad, they didn't even have 342 murders last year? Barbados, they had a total of 32 murders last year. So far this year, they've had 15. Okay, El Salvador, which is 1/3 the size of Jamaica, has had 617 murders. Why? Because murder is the culture. Until we stop claiming murder she wrote, we gonna all end up dead.
So are you saying, Acid, and then I'm gonna read this comment. Are you saying that you feel like the music is really causing the violence in Jamaica? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying it's not stopping it. And when the morality clause was put into effect and they started claiming they was going to stop artists from behaving this way on stage and promoting violence and abject sexuality, they haven't done anything at all. And the minister who is in charge of that, the two ministers, Minister Grange
Can I ask you a
and
question?
also Minister Chan, neither one of them has done anything. Horace Chan has a responsibility. He's in charge of safety and health and welfare. And guess what? Olivia Grange is in charge of entertainment and youth policy. What is it that is preventing either one of them from interacting in this to stop it? Tell me, please, because I've sat here and listened to all this rationalization till it's just made my head hurt.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Mackie, before your question, Conrad, big up DJ Smiles. It says, if the ghetto don't have guns, the police will attack every day.
They do it everywhere. That's nothing new.
Go ahead, Mackie, and then
all right. Since you travel so much along the Caribbean, I want to compare the Caribbean.
Not just the Caribbean. I've been all over Europe too, so I've seen a lot of reggae in a lot of places.
All right.
No, what I want to ask you, as it relates to the statistics that you post, are there other countries other than Jamaica that censor the music, what can and cannot be played, other than Jamaica? Let's say Trinidad and the other place.
Yes, and that was part of my research, was to find out who didn't censor the music. Let me tell you where they don't censor the music. They don't censor it in Jamaica. They don't censor it in El Salvador. They don't censor it in Mexico. They don't censor it in Guatemala. And guess what? Every one of those places has an extreme murder rate.
Okay. Well, that's a question with son. I was just trying to.
Also, I want to add this, because this is a very important part of this that no one seems to even want to bring up. Two things are happening. One, we got an importation of the gun culture that came about because of cable TV. So Jamaica started living out of a TV screen. And that abomination of society that people have adopted as a society is wrong. And people like my Uncle Eddie Siaga needed to have been stopped before he started allowing the CIA to continue to bring in guns. Because once you start dropping guns on the island, people gonna start using guns on the island. That's the first part of it. That's a long time ago. Siaga was involved in the music business, the drug smuggling, the gun smuggling, the murder, the government, all of it. So since we had one of the biggest examples, why don't we start with history and say he was shut down simply because of that? And once he was shut down, what happened next? A Don system took his place. Now we still got the Don system running politics, which is why this person said, if you don't have guns, the police gonna run up on you. The police gonna run up on you anywhere. I got plenty guns in my house, and I'm not afraid of the police, period. And I'm in America, and I want to say that guns don't stop violence. Guns cause violence.
Conrad says, I'm from Tivoli Gardens, and I never got influenced by guns. By guns and songs don't do it. And then he also says, Trinidad beat Rastafarians and don't want culture music. And he says, we are pirate picnics. Okay.
In terms of Trinidad beating Rastafarians, Trinidad ain't the only place that don't like people with dreadlocks. The Bahamas don't like people with dreadlocks either. I got turned away from the Bahamas, and I had a PhD with dreadlocks on my head, and they told me, I couldn't come in, and I was working for American Express at the time. If American Express hired me in America with dreadlocks, why did the Bahamas did not want me to come in to look at some of their personal problems? I want to say that a lot of people have misconceptions because they are not able to see a bigger picture. I've seen some of the bigger picture. I haven't seen it all, but I've seen enough of it to know that there are a lot of pockets that are created, and Jamaica created a pocket of violence and is now feeding it to the point that it is consuming Jamaica until we get Vibes Cartel behind bars with no albums coming out. We will not be able to control politics in Jamaica.
But
Any artist behind bars should not be allowed to put out music. Second thing, if you kill people, they should take all your royalties and give them to the family of those you kill. Until that happens, Kingfish meant nothing. You go and you kill somebody next door to the person running Kingfish and you still alive? Tell me how that works. Because if you was in Detroit, you wouldn't be.
That's going. All right, listen.
But hey, bad Jamaicans, come to Detroit and learn how things work.
Okay, we're gonna we have about 5 more minutes. We have 5 more minutes. And who was saying?
Let me try and do this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
One of the things that get me annoyed is that the violence in Jamaica is blamed on you. Yes, you have some aggression in every department of every society. But the music that is Jamaica have this culture from back in the 70s where the politics and the guns, that's where it all started. After all of that, the Dan culture started. But after that, they started focusing on drugs. Somebody, I don't want to call him name, run the Thiago until them I run things now.
Call a name. If you're gonna say it, you're gonna speak about it. Call a name. We don't play them games here. We call a spade a spade.
Acid, wait, and we don't need to call names.
Why crime and violence can be solved? We have Jamaica's culture is that don't talk. Don't talk. Once you talk, you're informer. This informer culture, it goes deep. Somebody will stand up and watch the crime happen and they will not say a word. Because why? Cries are later. And it is deeper than just somebody saying the music has nothing to do with all of that. And now with the scamming and the gun smuggling, all of that, because music is not generating no money. Scamming generating money. Drugs generating money. Look at the drug bust over the weekend. Millions. That had nothing to do with music. And beyond that, when the money don't share properly and the scamming money don't share properly, and all this guns coming in and the Jamaican and stuffing guns with stuffing weed into Haiti for guns, that has nothing to do with the music. So I don't like it. I don't like when someone blame the violence on the music. It goes deeper and wider than that. It's not something. It's a thing. It is unbelievable, scary. It's sickening and it's sad. But it is not the music.
I don't feel like I honestly in some ways don't feel like it's all music either. Yes, some of the contents and some of the music is way off. But I grew up listening. I heard lots of gun music. I didn't turn to it, as well as the caller said that he never got influenced by gun songs. There are a lot of persons who hear the same music that people who out there are shooting, and that did not influence them to become gunman, bad man, nothing like that. So I would not say in its entirety that gun music had anything to do the blunt of it. Yeah, I don't think
they were trying to hit police.
Okay, one of the comments says the cops and government producing Vibes Cartel songs. And who's Blink? I don't know who's Blink. But you know what? We have to wrap this up. We have to wrap this up. What I would like to what I would like to on part four of this entertainment and segment, I would like to come up with us for all of us to put our heads together, listeners, panelists, callers. Um, I would like for all of us to put our heads together and come up with a solution, to the government that Mackie spoke about, Andrew spoke about, um, how that is going to be put together, how we can incorporate more with this government itself. Would this government, Mackie, also be responsible for the content of the music, of the contents that is in the music as well? Are Is that part of this government? And how will this government implement and make sure that these music, is censored in some form of way? Another comment, Juliet Reed says, the music does cause problems. That's like when they said all informer must die. That was in a song. And there are people out there that takes these words to heart. Well, I said not in its entirety. Some people mind mentality, because we also have to look at people's mentality, mental state. Some people mentality just just is stupid at everything that music says they do. But you have persons such as myself and most of you that aren't influenced by these negative music. So I would not say in its entirety that everything that is happening in Jamaica around the world is based off of the violence in the music. Not everything.
I want to agree with you, Lady D. Even though, of course, I will only say music is an influential tool. And similarly to how music can influence positive and it can influence negative. But the worst thing can be sung in a music, but it doesn't influence everybody. I don't think music is the sole cause of crime in Jamaica. There must have been other things that
And
outside of
social
music.
social programs that
Right.
just didn't
That's what I
fulfill the true value. And also people get sick of always being at the bottom of the barrel and having everything taken away from them. So economics, which is why we spotlighting economics and how the music business really drove a lot of money into Jamaica and then took it up to Red Hills and Beverly Hills and didn't give it to the people in the jungle who the music was all about.
no, I think is a lot of factors that cause crime. As far as I'm concerned, crime is a business,
Yeah.
and there are people that benefit from crime.
Mackie, if
Either
it's a
way, and
business,
I'm not
why did
saying
they
the
kill
music
Tabby
business.
Diamond?
Well, I really don't know. It could be about revenge. It could be someone wants to kill his son and kill his
Why
father.
did they kill? Who was that? Whose son was that got killed this week?
Sanchez. That
Sanchez, I think. What
Why
was
did
it?
they kill Sanchez's son?
it
Well, one of the thing, it is hard to just sit here and make speculation on something unless you
No,
have
no, no, no,
factual
no. I'm
evidence.
getting to a general point. The point
No, no,
I'm
but I
making is
cannot.
previous to this, people had respect for certain
Yeah, but
things.
it is not only.
Respect is
We're
not
talking.
due any longer, Mackie. It's
Yeah,
time for
but
respect to start returning to the
yeah,
game.
yeah, but in the line of music, it is hard to say it is music that is causing the disrespect. I personally believe that. As a matter of fact, I don't think it is a gun who kill anyone. Gun never
Mackie,
kill
have
anyone.
you ever had a
It's
producer
people
come to
kill
you and
people.
say you can't go on tour until you carry these drugs for me to go on tour because you're not going to get a visa? We can't get your visa unless you agree to participate in this.
Well, the
You
strangest
haven't
thing I
been through
never.
that, but I know artists who have, whose whole careers got started on that, whose whole careers existed because of that. And that is what pushed all this money and all this badness into music in the 80s. Between the 80s and the 90s, all this murder music evolved. We had Batman music before then, but we didn't have this.
Well, as I'm saying, if you have the evidence to substantiate that, but I'm not prepared to speak what I really don't have the
Oh, we
evidence to
got
back up.
evidence. All we got to do is
Right.
look at the music and look at the charts.
Acid, let Mackie complete his statement, and we had a comment that Blink caused violence too. Go ahead, Mackie, complete.
I was saying, guns don't cause violence. It's the mind. If we are able to transform the mind by whatever means, there needs to be a identifying some of the persons that try to solve crimes. They
You
are probably
misspoke,
based
Mackie. I'm sorry. I got to cut you, brother. Guns do cause violence because if violent people have them, they do violence. That's violence. Example of that is what happened when the police caught the man with the toy gun across his shoulder walking up the road, and the police and all the people kept calling saying, "Hey, there's a man out here with a big long gun." Nobody paid attention to the fact that there was no clip in it or anything else, that it was a toy gun.
I
They
would
called the police
hold a
and they were
second.
really about to beat this old man. So
Yeah,
that was
but
violence.
Blink.
it would be nice if you listen to what I'm saying first, though.
Yeah, go ahead, Mackie,
What
complete your thought.
what I'm actually saying, anything can be a weapon. If there was no gun, the crime rate will be the same. People will find a different source.
Yeah,
There are several licensed firearm holders that never shoot anyone. Every policeman carry a gun, but they doesn't necessarily shoot anyone every day. So it is not the gun. Persons who kill people are not the only people with guns. The others probably don't. People shoot people for a reason. I'm in a community in St. James. I live in Montego Bay. I'm from where the Zoso was, Mount Salem. I don't hear people get killed every day. I drive through South Spring every day, Norwood, Flanker, Farmites, all those places that are called volatile community. And
Yes,
I'm
they
never
are.
hearing
Every
people
one of
firing
them.
back. No,
I'm a
I'm
North
speaking
Coast
about
girl. I'm from Ochi, so trust me, I know.
no.
St. Anne's
I
is hot.
I
Ac-
live in
complete this.
Montego Bay. All these communities I go through every day. People don't just get up and shoot people. People do what they do for a reason. Many persons have gun, but they don't use it because they don't have a reason to. It is a state of mind that causes people to do what they do. And if we find the means and ways of reversing, the persons who try to solve crime probably are the university graduates who only have the theory of crime. They probably need to sit with the criminals and find out why they commit crime. Because the person who are trying to solve crime have never even lived in any of these communities where the criminals are from. So if it is a matter of understanding the cause before you try to solve it, you can't have the cure without you know the cause. It's like medicine. You do a blood test and then the blood test will determine what medication you need. There's a blind way of doing many things, and that is where the problem erode and continues to strive. We need to know why the people do what they do. And I say all the time, many persons may have gone and they never kill anyone. Another person will chop a man in two because he doesn't have a gun. He wants to kill him. Music play a role in influencing the society, both positive and negative. And if we can find the means of we are using the influence of music in a positive way, but music is not the only thing that cause crime. Two people go to scam and you take away my money and I can't call the police. What do I do? I plant a ganja field and you get into my ganja field and steal my ganja. What do? I can't call the police. So what do? I trust my own justice. There are many other things. So unless we get a proper understanding from the foundation, probably the way in which they try to solve crime is wrong. The people trying to solve it don't know. It become brute force and bad manism. And when the police go into the community, all they do, they hold what they hold you according to what you look like. And they criminalize you with just looking at you. They say, boy, come here, give me a search, a big man. And that they aggravate you against them, then you will never give them any information either, even if you know. Because you cannot criminalize a man, or you cannot just see someone and he's a criminal upon appearance. We need to see people as people and we deal with things where the situation is. I believe some of the means and ways of solving crime need to reassess.
Yeah, I
Straight.
I agree with you, Mackie. I would say it's mentality and it's also circumstance, you know, that breeds a lot of the violence along with music. Like I said, music is influence, as you said, in both ways. To the comments, Conrad says, ask her who's Blink if Siago is her uncle. Also, another
Listen,
comment, one moment. Also, another comment, Juliet says, crime is caused by the individual's mentality. One person can listen to a song for pure enjoyment, and another person hearing the same song see it in a totally different way.
Amen.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
I
Yeah.
agree. I
man.
agree. Mindset and mentality.
Is yeah, it's yeah, man. We gotta wrap this up. I said, did you want to answer that other that Conrad with the
Yeah,
comment?
yeah, yeah. I do. I want to say this. Listen, anybody born in Jamaica, Eddie is your uncle. Anybody says otherwise, it's because they don't claim politics. So he's not my physical uncle. He's my uncle through history and through life.
Okay.
And I don't know who Blink is, but I will say this. I know a whole lot of people, and I'm not going to call out no neighborhoods because Lady D don't want me to do that.
No.
But I'll say this.
On that
There are
note,
many people outside of Jamaica who are just as connected to Jamaica right now as when they lived there. And they know everything going on in every yard that's connected to them. And some of them have to answer for the consequences. But the deal is this: if you choose to be involved in the negative way, then you choose to serve the consequences. I don't want to be involved in a negative way because I don't want the consequences. That's why I stay out of Jamaica because I have already had enough. I
okay,
study now.
we're gonna close out. We're gonna close out. Conrad says Blink, aka Siaga. All right, so we're gonna close out on for next week. We want to try to get some type of, we want to put this government together, if it's possible, and how we can go about it and how we can incorporate the cultural music into the rhythms. Now, how can we persuade some of these producers to get in touch with artists such as Mackie, Sledge, Twiggy, a lot of artists that sing in good, Joseph Court, I know a lot of artists that are singing, and I deal with a lot of up and coming artists, and so we have to figure how to get, I guess, the producers who are producing these music, these rhythms, to get more cultural music on it. And hopefully this government will be the one to implement that. Juliet says, lady, for topics like this, you need more than 1 hour. You need at least three. We've been on since 8 o'clock. It's 10:30 now. I don't
But
know.
this is part three.
I don't, and this is part three of this segment,
Yeah,
right?
dear.
Okay, so I don't know how much more time you want, Miss Gillette. And but we're gonna try to wrap it up next week, part four. And if it's done, and Mackie Sledge, or anyone else that want to join the panel on this, because this is something that we collectively as Jamaicans need to come together and make something work, because we're talking. This forum, I'm hoping that will also move to another level,
Yes.
just talking on radio, but also maybe we can start putting together petitions. Maybe we can start speaking with other more artists, not just artists. We can speak with producers, we can speak with engineers, we can speak with, and get everyone together and see if maybe something such as an entertainment government can happen. And if not, what will be some of the suggestions that we can share and forward it to our younger artists and musicians and so on, so that the culture can continue the right way. So those are some of the things that I would love for us to discuss for part four. And there was something, there was one more thing here that I jot down from someone else that came on the live, but I'm not. I don't see it. Oh, I'm not even gonna get into this one. I might bring that up next week. I'm sorry, Pat. She said blaming it on radio job. We will discuss that one. Maybe, possibly, we'll put that one in. So, Pat from Boston, we want to say thank you for your comment. I'll address that next week. That one I'm not gonna bother because it's gonna be a whole nother long conversation going on that one. But let's see if we can do that next week. Um, come together and come up with solutions. And then from there, the solutions that we'll put together, how can we reach out to maybe all of us can come together and send out notices to other entertainers, to other engineers, and maybe we can have a rational meeting. Zoom is there that can hold a whole bunch of us, not even on radio, but just privately. Maybe we can all get together privately and understand the stake of the music. I'm seeing it all over social media. People are speaking on it, and but no one is coming up with solution, and it's always just a talk. Let's put action to our words. How about that? And so
100%.
yes, so next week we can address solutions, we can address ways that we can target producers and persons to make a change, because it's all about making a change in the music, the way it's going. Because one of the questions that really jogged me, and we're not going to discuss it today, but I'm going to put it out there. What does reggae really stand for in today's music world? So next week we'll address a lot of those other questions. But I want to thank each and everyone whom comment, everyone whom was calling in. I do apologize. I don't know what's going on with the ringer in the headphone.
The phone is too hot. It's burning up the lines.
It's not ringing, so I have my back turned to the telephone line, so I'm not really seeing the calls that's coming in. So I do apologize on that, and we'll see if we can get our engineer here to fix that for me, so that way I don't have to stare at the screen. But I want to thank each and every one once again for calling in, checking in, listening in. For Victorious 89.1 FM, want to say big shouts to you. Thank you so much for carrying us. Fresh Vibes, want to say big shouts to you for carrying us. Irie ATL, want to say big shouts to you as well for carrying us. Each and every one listening to our telephone line, 667-930-9036. Big shouts to you, and on our tuning apps, and also on our websites. We just thank you for always listening. Donna Moody say, I'll be here next week with my comments. I tuned in late. That's fine. Donna, pick up yourself. Always a loyal listener for us. So we just want to thank each and every one once again. Before we leave out, I'm gonna give Mackie, Donald, Mama Acid, Sledge is still on the line, and I'm showing Andrew is also still on the line. I'll give you all, to something to, if you all want to say something to wrap it up to our listening audience. Don, you want to go?
No, I'm good.
You good?
I'm good. Yeah.
All right, Mackie.
Well, I want to invite all the viewers to check out my channel, my YouTube channel, which I put out some of these views. It's called Mackie Conscious Views. So you can check that YouTube channel, because I have something coming where I want to talk about Mother's Day, which some of you might not like, especially the ladies. Yeah, because mother is not only who give birth to a child. Some people get the reward of being a mother when in truth they are not even a mother. So I want to address that as well. But check out that views. Mackie Conscious is spelled as you see it on the screen. MACKIECONSCIOUS. Google, Gmail, Yahoo, what again? Facebook. Once you spell the name, type it in Google, easy to find. Put Gmail to my email address and you get to me. So just spell it right and me good. Put it in a Google and find. Other than that, Lady D is my assistant. She know where to find me. Respect.
Definitely. Don, I know you have your new album, your new tunes that are out. I see you post.
Yes, I got a brand new EP called Love Is the Answer, and you can find it on all the major download platforms. And like same thing like Mackie say, if you want to find me, just Google Dan Minot and all the sites come up: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just Google Dan Minot, and all of that pops up.
All right, Sledge, would you like to make a?
Yeah, I usually we do a lot of talking, right? And then after a while, it goes down. Like you said, we should come up with the solutions, and we have to keep talking. See if we can tap into the nuances and the things that is causing all the stuff. And once we tap into it, then we have to get big and serious and make a move towards try and make an attempt. Even if we can't try and solve it, but we can educate somebody else so they can pass it on. So at least we can get people to be on the same mindset or closer to our one. So I'm gonna be here on each program because this is something that's been bothering me for the longest while. And so whatever you do, I will um, be a part of it.
Oh,
So
great.
let us try and come up with solutions, not only just to figure out what's going on. So I'm with that.
Right.
Totally with that.
All right, great. Andrew?
Yeah. Um, the foundation to start on is prayer. We need to pray and set the foundation. And anger is not going to solve anything. We need to come up with the solution, and when we come up with the solution, we just don't talk about it, but we put shoulders to the wheel and we do what we need to do, and stop watching and pointing fingers on who is and who's not, and make sure that whatever we're saying, wherever we put them out, is where our actions will be. Because for too long we have been talking and talking and talking, and there has not been any solution. There has not been any groundwork. There has not been a thing that we have tried to even come up with something that we can start from and improve on. And I think that's where we need to go back to the drawing board, and we need to start with a prayer and just invite the Lord to come in and to give us guidance and give us wisdom and some knowledge as how we can go about fixing things and putting things right. Yeah.
Okay. Mama Acid?
And
Oh, go
and
ahead. I'm
so
sorry.
also to what Mama Acid was saying about the killing. The truth of the matter is people don't just get up and kill people in Jamaica like that. There has to be a reason. It's stemming from somewhere, and sometimes things that happen over the years and it just reach the boiling point, and people doing what they think that they need to do. So people just don't just get up and kill people without a. There has to be a reason. Something has happened, something has staged, something took place, and it's at the boiling point. And I'm not saying that is right, but that is the reality. So it's not only from the music, it's stemming from every area, every alley. It's not stemming from one place.
Okay. Um,
Thank
thank you, Apostle Andrew. Mama Acid.
I just want to remind everybody that there are people in place right now in Jamaican government who are responsible for certain things, who are being ignored, who are not doing their jobs, who are not being held responsible for a lot of these things that are happening. And that is a bigger part of the problem than any of us have talked about. And I am not willing to walk away from it because I feel that if you wear the title, in the Bible, it says, to whom much is given, much is expected.
All right. Well, I once again want to thank each and every one of you joining in today with us. And as I said, I hope that we can find solutions. And that's the reason for this entire reasoning. is to find solutions. This entire topic of reason on entertainment is to find solutions. And thank you, Gillette, for putting it out there. Let the people know they can watch this whole segment again on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and watch this segment again. Thank you very much for putting that out there. And so and share it, you know, and maybe you want to review the other segments that we had in regards to entertainment. And hopefully we all, no matter how even that they call us Jamaicans hard head, I think some of us can you know get a little soft some of the time, and you know, for a good cause, you know. And I feel that our music is a good cause. And yes, we're all over on violence and everything, but everything, it all jives together in what our reasoning was on in the entertainment um, fraternity. So, for all of the other entertainers and producers and engineers that may watch it or may choose to join us, we welcome your ideas. And that's why we call this show Reasoning, is because no one is wrong. No one is wrong with it's your thoughts, and we can agree to disagree. And I think that if we all come together, it will be a good thing, you know, and make this thing work and save reggae, you know. And in the process, we may be saving a lot of other things as well, since music is the outlet for positive and negative. Let's see how we can get it more positive so that other
Absolutely.
positive things can manifest from it. So we thank you once again. We're gonna leave out with the man. He says, "Leave the crumbs alone," as we started, and you know, my big song with we started out the show with Don saying a prayer, and we're going to end the show with Mackie with Leave the Crumbs Alone. So I just thank you all, and thank you all for bearing with me and vibesing with me and listening to me. Also be sure to listen to the fantabulous programmings right here on the Powerhouse Radio as we continue to grow. Let's gripe on a Wednesday night, 7 to 9 p.m. with Tonya, McKenna, and Marcus. Be sure to listen to Reasoning Thursdays as you are now every Thursdays. We're on at 8 p.m. And
But you don't know when we going off.
Saturday, Saturday, it's all about the Bishop Gospel Explosion from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then the Lady D show from 12 to 4. And as we say, we do news, views, interviews, good, good music right here on the Lady D show. Saturdays 12 to 4. And on Sundays, our gospel mornings with the Gospel Vibes crew, Delroy Delingo, from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then we go to the house of the Lord with Bishop Winston Blair, Hope Redemption Worship Center from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the big love program. If you're not listening to it, trust me, you're not in love.
You
It's
missing it if you don't listen.
nothing but love on a Sunday evening from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. with yours truly, Lady D, Blossom, and Cool G. We love you all. And if you have a program that we may be interested in, please share it with us as we continue to build this platform. Love you all. Blessings and love. It is a wonderful
Every man I feel leave the crumbs alone. Hey. This world is for you and I. Take yours and leave mine. Walk the conscious and for the beat in a different style. Watch this, watch this. The whole world is like a cake with slices. You get yours, make you don't trouble my peace. Nobody talk about the world in a crisis. Leave the crumbs alone. Oh, man, you see a man a climb up the ladder. Never try to make this climb any harder. Out of the way, you're up and do is a trying. Believe, every man a believe. You better believe. Every man a believe. You better believe. Every man a believe. You better believe. Yeah, you woulda believe. Yes, every man must be mixed. Joe got the walk and another man sucks. It's not the bad vibe. Just leave the crumbs alone. And if Jaja didn't make you special, how you know blue roses and petal? How you know make out of steel and metal? Leave
the drugs alone.
Every man a believe. You better believe. Every man a believe. You better believe. Every man a believe. You better believe. Every man a believe. Hey, Toddy P, take a slice. Here a slice. Play, Mr. Basie. Oh, God.
There's some good music right here.
The whole world is like a cake with slices. You get yours, beg you don't touch my piece. Nobody talk about the world in a crisis. Leave them crumbs alone. Yes, everybody want a piece of the pie. You must live and everybody die. Biting more than you can swallow. Leave the crumbs alone. You better believe. Every man a believe. You better believe. Every man a believe. You better believe. Every man a believe.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Victorious 89.1 WAKP.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
What kind of records do you play for your? What kind of records do you?
Oh, mama. You are best. She's still loving me.